Hello, my Stampin' friends. Not sure if anybody's going to join me today. I was kind of late to getting my notice out that I was going to be doing this, but here I am, and you can certainly watch this later on the replay when you get time. It is hot today, so not leaving the house. It's just too hot to leave the air conditioning. Yes, I am a spoiled lady, that's for sure. Today, I'm going to talk about the Designer Series Paper Special, which starts on Thursday, July 1st, and goes to August 2nd. And then I'm going to show you also this fun fold. I know I did it in Stamp Club years ago, but I came across it again, and I said, well, let's try it again. See how fun it is, and you'll actually be able to see how it's done. Okay, this is the flyer that I'm going to be sending out to some of your emails tomorrow, or else I'll actually send it tonight. These are all the designer papers that are going to be 15% starting off on July 1st. So we've got Beauty of the Earth, and I'll show you a little bit of that paper right here. I have cut some of it just to show you, but it's to me it's kind of fall-like in its colors, although you can use it certainly for other seasons. This goes along with the Beauty of Friendship stamp set. So this with the dies, I'll be showing you at some point using this paper and what you can do with paper like this, which is really fun. So you've got that paper. Then you've got this design right here, and on the flip side we have kind of some winter. I think of it more as this one's a winter, kind of a winter paper with the like snow background and the evergreens. So I'm sure I'll make some fun winter type cards with that. Here's another one that's kind of fall-like. And some sky paper. We all like the sky paper because that makes a really nice background. I wish I could actually do with a whole package of this stuff. Then we have this paper right here. And what you'll see online is a lot of people are cutting it at 6 inches down the middle. And then you can cut 4 inches, 8 inches. And so you have a card back. When you cut it in half, you have this, so you have a 6x6. If you cut it to 4 inches here, or, I mean, like I said, if you cut it to 4 inches here, you can just trim either the top or the bottom, and you have a really nice background of trees. So that's really kind of a pretty paper. And what do we see on the back? On the back, we have some more green, so this would be more of a summer evergreen scene, I guess, with the lots of green. Then we have this paper, which you can also use with the dies. Again, I'll be showing this at a later time to use this paper for your leaves, even though you've got some tree stems there. And then on the back is a nice wood background. Again, another favorite of mine. And then finally, the other paper on here is some trees. This is kind of a theme if you've, looking through the catalog at all, because we have now a border punch that punches trees. I don't think it punches this. I don't have the punch to try it out, but that seems to be a theme. And then we've got a green background, which you can also use for leaves on the trees. So that is the Beauty of Friendship paper, which is your first one up here. Then we have Bloom Where You're Planted. I do not have this paper yet. I will order it as part of the sale, so I get a good deal too. Hand penned, I'm going to be using that one today, so I'll show you that in a minute. In Good Taste, which was in the catalog last year, and I have showed it to most of you before, but we'll take another gander at it. It's a 24 pack of paper instead of a 12. And so it's got more designs than the other. So you've got this design on one side, the nice wall background. I've got this, which is kind of like a bathroom tile. This might be good with the plant stamp set. Kind of a texture, a fabric texture. You've got some wood, some lighter wood, and again another fabric kind of texture. You've got some more tile. Looks kind of like a tile floor to me on one side, but you could also use it as a tile wall, like a backsplash. You've got some kind of paint, swirly paint. I know there's a name to that. I just can't think of right now. You've got another one that's got texture to it. This has a little bit of a kind of a herringbone look to it. This on the back. You've got some more wood, kind of like a wood paneling type. Again, with some wood spackle. Spackle, that looks kind of like a spackle background. Another wood. And then another texture on the back, which is good. It's good for a sweater or something woven. So another wall that you can use. Some gray on the background. I used this once for my son. I did a house. And then I used the back for the roof. And another wood paneling. Here's some of the pink spackle. We've got more wood, and we've got this kind of cool design in the back of that. And we've got another wall. This one has more browns or beiges instead of the grays. There's a little bit of gray though. You can use that with gray, the lightweight. And then we have another one that's kind of like a tile design on one side and wood on the back. So that is the In Good Taste paper, which has got a lot of uses out of it. That's why I only have little pieces of it. Then we have In the Wild. And this paper is fun because I happen to like tigers. So I've had a little bit of fun playing with this paper. We have some flowers on one side, some animal print on the back. And we have some tigers on one side, and we have these plants on the other. And I'll show you that the nice thing with the Wildcat set that coordinates with it and the dies is that we have this die that actually cuts that one out. And then we have, if you look over here, we have these 3 leaves, which cuts that out as well. And then I've hand cut the rest of them, and I'll show you a sample card that I used with that in a little bit, which was fun. So you got that one. You've got this design here. Just got a lot of cool colors in it, with some vines on the back. Kind of a African pattern. It reminds me of an African pattern, with some cheetahs on the back, which could be hand cut out if you'd like, or just use the background. Here's some tigers. And the nice thing about this set is we also have dies for this. We have this die, as part of the set, cuts out this tiger. And then we have this die here that cuts out this tiger. And then the other tigers, of course, you could hand cut out. So I've cut out a bunch of tigers, so they're ready for my projects. And then that's got another animal print using the new Evening Evergreen paper. And then we have some cheetahs, and if you can see at the bottom, I've started cutting out some of the cheetahs. And then on the back is some more animal print. So fun paper. Love that. Here, I'll show you. This is the card that I made with that. And this is one of the tigers that was on the edge of the paper. So it wasn't a complete tiger. He was kind of cut off on the side. But I've managed to cut out the branches so that you don't even know. So I've been able to use that as well. Then we have the pansy petals, which I have shown you in the past. And that has some great patterns on one side and flowers on the other. So we've got the pansies on this side. And then we have some stripes on the back. And we have lots of pansies on this sheet, which makes a nice background, and just a plain, I think that's Bumblebee is the color that they've used. Again, some pansies, and I've shown you this before, that these pansies have a die that cut all these out. So there's no hand cutting on this set. And then some polka dots in the back. Here's some pansies here with checkered background, which I love my checkered background. Here's another one with just some petals and some, I think this is the Fresh-Freshia color. And then we have some more leaves, and then these leaves can all be cut out with the dies in the die set. And then we have some soft succulent checkered ones on the back. Okay, so that's the pansy petals. Sweet Symmetry, I do not have that one. Not sure I'm going to get that one at all. We'll see. Tidings of Christmas, I'll probably get a pack of that because Lord knows I need more Christmas paper. Like I need a hole in the head. And then You're a Peach, which is one of my favorite colors as well. And that one, almost couldn't find it. I got to use smaller pieces. So this one has, these are the patterns on one side. So again, we're using our Balmy Blue, and I think this is Pear Pizzazz, Calypso Coral. I think Mango Melody might be in this one. So those are your pattern papers, and then we have our peaches on the other side. So we have this peaches, these peaches, all upside down here. These peaches with some little floral backgrounds, some flowers, and then some other flowers here. So those are all the designer papers that are on sale starting on Thursday, if you are interested. Now, today we're going to use the hand-penned designer series paper, which is becoming one of my favorites, which I never would have thought it was. So here we have this design here. This design using the pink and the pale papaya. Here we're using a little Misty Moonlight with Daffodil Delight and Mint Macaron. We've got some pale papaya here with the Misty Moonlight. There's another one. And then we have this one here. And then we flip over on the back, we've got all patterns. So they're good, nice coordinating patterns, as you can see, that go with that paper that we're going to use. And then flip this one over. Some nice stripes. We've got some polka dots. We've got just some leaves. We have some flowers. And some more flowers. Here, here's some Blushing Bride and Garden Green. And then we have some Daffodil Delight little swirls. So that's the hand-penned paper. So I picked out this paper today for our little project, and this is a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of designer series paper. Now, when you pick your designer series paper, if it's got a direction to it, you're only going to be able to use this, or else this side will be upside down when we cut it in a triangle. Okay, so you may want to make sure that you have something on the back that's not in a direction. I have, and I'll show you for the tiger paper, I ended up using this design here. Let me show you right here. I used this design, but I didn't want to use this on the back, so I picked this design to coordinate with it, which you can't really see much with all the other stuff on it. And of course this is sideways. But because I cut 2 different things, I've got another set that I can do with another card. But you really, I mean, this isn't too directional, but it would have gone like this. So in a sense, it's directional, but it'll be all right for this card. and that one. So just to show you, we're going to cut it. So we have a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of paper, and our directions go in this way. So we're going to want to cut down from this corner. So we're going to put it in our track, this one and this way. It's ironic how you move one and the other one decides to move with it. So there would be our rectangles, but we're not going to use this one. Oh wait, we are going to use this one. Sorry, because we got this one right here. So this will be our design for the back. Oh, let me leave this here. Now, for this card, you're going to need a full 8 1/2 by 11 sheet of paper, and you're going to cut it in half at 4 1/4. So I've already cut it for you. And then what we're going to do is we're going to score both of them at 5 1/2, because that's the center. Make sure I move the cutting blade out of the way. So we got that 5 1/2, just half the sheet of paper, and another one at 5 1/2, right here. And I found out I'm able to use the cutting blade and cut these both at the same time. But if you aren't able to cut both at the same time, you have to think of this as being a house. And when we cut, we're going to cut down so that we're cutting this way and this way, because we want our as you look here, see how they're going opposite directions. You'll see it more when I put it on the card. But I'm going to try and do this and cut it. Now, you know what? Maybe I'll do it one at a time. So we're going to take and we're going to do this corner to this side. Like that. And then, so we have our little house, half of our house there, just like that. And then this one, we're going to go from here to here. So we have to put this one in the track here. And this one up here. I'm not sure you can all see the bottom, but I'm using this and then the score line down at the bottom. Oh, let's see if I can move it up here. So I've got the top corner and then the score line right here at the bottom. And then we'll cut that one. If I can do it without moving it, I'm going to move it down so it's on a flat surface, because that will really not be good if it's crooked. Okay, so this is how we have it. We've got our opposite sides. And then when we fold it over, like this, we have our crisscross. Just like that. So let's move that out of our cutter out of our way. And we're going to put these two together. So I'm going to use my glue, just because I kind of like the fact that I can move it. I've become a big Tombow glue person, because I can shift it if I need to, if I'm not lined up right. I can move it over, and we'll check the back, make sure we're even. Okay, so now those two pieces are put together. Let it dry for a second. Let's move these out of our way. And then we'll put our pieces on here. So I'm going to put this one on here. Oh, let me use my... I always forget to do this till I go to put it on and I realize it's not really flush. So do that one. Make a nice solid crease here for the backbone folder. It lays flat. And then I'll put my piece on here. as such. Line it up there. That looks pretty good. Gonna dry because we don't want it to move. Put this flap down here like this. Oh, I think I put it on here before, didn't I? There we go. And then I'll put this on here. Good paper to use for this is if you use the In Color or the Color Family Designer Series paper, because you've got two different patterns on there, and as long as you pay attention to the direction that you end up wanting it, you're good. And I just happen to make it that it goes left over right. You could do it this way as well when you fix it, but I kind of like to have the majority of that pattern showing. Now, I made a mistake earlier and forgot to do this side. Make sure you put your flap down first. Now, I could use the glue, but I'm not going to use the glue because I'm going to use on my mat here, I'm going to kind of go a little bit off. And this is the Seal Plus, which is good for if you're making boxes and such. Now, as you see, I have it a little bit off the edge here because I don't want it too far down. And then I'm just going to push the extra over so it makes it kind of extra sticky. And then we're just going to put that down as we go to make our pocket. And now this one, I could use the seal, but I'm going to use the glue. And you have to see about where you don't want to glue past this. Ask me how I know, because I did that the last time. And then this goes all the way across, so put that down just like that, and we have our little pocket. And we'll let that go stick for a minute while we do our other pieces. Now, I'm going to take, I have a piece of, this is actually 5 1/8 instead of 5 1/4 because I want 5 1/8 by 3 7/8 because it needs to fit in this pocket. And if I did it the same size as I normally would do, a 5 1/4 by a 4, it just is going to be a little bit tight. But I mean, measure it that way, and then you can always just take 1/8 off of 2 of the sides, and that becomes your pocket, and that's where you can put your saying and do your writing on, whatever you might want to do. Now, for decorating, I'm going to use this set right here called Hand Penned Petals, which actually coordinates beautifully with the paper. And I have already cut out a circle from the circle dies and a scallop circle, and this will be my part on over here. And I've already put the stamps on the blocks, so we will take a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I will take the stamp here that I'm going to use. And this is a 2-step stamp. So we're going to use our flower. Oh, and I apologize for the rocking. Using my Memento Black, which I would have to use if I was going to color this in, but I'm going to actually use the stamps that coordinate with this. So it gives it the watercolor look that matches kind of the paper background. So there we have that piece right there. And I'm going to take, here is the top part, which I'm going to use the Pale Papaya. Double check that it's clean because I tried to do it before and got a dirty image. And we're just going to kind of lay it, and it's not going to be exact. We just want it kind of close. And there's our pale papaya, which is designed to match the papaya in the paper there. And I'm going to use Pool Party, which matches those leaves right there, but I'm going to do this flower. And this one has a background one too, which is this one. And I probably should see if I could get it in there. That's probably better. And that's the flower. And then we're going to use Garden Green, because that's the color here, although it's a lightened version of the Garden Green, like a stamped off version. And we're going to use the leaf that goes with this. And I'm going to turn this around. Put this on here. Put on these other flowers up here. This one down here. And as you can see, the flowers are all a little bit different, but that definitely uses the larger one. And then there's a smaller leaf that I'm going to kind of use here to get this part. And I'm going to use it on this part up here, the smaller leaf. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Garden Green marker. You could also use a watercolor brush if you wanted to. And I'm going to use the marker to color in the, I think I used the bigger end, a little bit easier. Just go very lightly so you don't go over your lines, but it doesn't matter if it goes over the lines because it's supposed to be a watercolor look. So then we have our leaves right there, and then I'm going to open the set and take out the die that coordinates with that, and bring up my die cut machine. And put the die on here. Now I'm using this is post-it note tape. Somebody had shown it online, and so I ordered some from Amazon, and it's a little bit better than the washi because it doesn't. I have to get some other pieces. I've used these. It definitely doesn't pull up the paper. Sometimes the washi will get kind of stuck on it, depending on how tight your machine is, how much it pushes it into the paper. But I just started using the Post-it, and it seems to work pretty good. So there we have our leaf, our flower. And this will go on here. Now to spruce it up a little bit, we also can use some of the pale papaya ribbon, because pale papaya is one of the new in colors. Let's put these together first. Let me get my regular snail. Oh, look at, I got a little piece of hair there. So we're going to put that on here. And then we're going to pop up this. Use our dimensionals. And pop up our flower. I'm going to take a little piece down here, put it on here. And put that up here on our circle. And then I'll pop that up again, but let's put our ribbon around here. Now this color right here is mint macaron. but it goes really well with the pool party. Let's get this over on this side here. Put a little bow on this side. I may have to double knot it because this is kind of, let's pull a little bit more and double knot it. Double knot it because it's kind of slippery ribbon. Now we don't need this to hold the card closed, obviously. It's just to decorate it a little bit. Gosh, I feel like I'm all thumbs today. Oh, I didn't get it tight enough. Well, lift it up a little bit too soon. This is why you need to stamp with people. So you have an extra hand. It's more fun to stamp with friends anyway. Unless you're stuck for ideas, then you kind of sometimes need your... There we go. That's better. We'll loop it around here. I'll cut it off. I still might fix that a little bit more. Oh, that actually is not too shabby. And then I'll put this on here like this. I'm going to pop that up too, because always fun to pop up our projects and give them a little 3D look. We'll just put this on here. Now, this looks a little bit bland. So what we can do with this is take some of our pool party ink again. And I kind of want a bigger happy birthday, but I'm going to use this one here because it just seems so cheery. We'll put our happy birthday on there, and then it's not quite so plain. And then I could probably put some extra leaves from the die or something. I'll work on it, and I'll post it when I get it finished. But we also have gems. So I love these genial gems, which I think came with this, actually comes with this suite. So I'm just going to put some extra gems on here. Actually, I may want to do the pale papaya ones more. Oh yeah, I like the pale papaya. Let's get rid of that one. Oh, and I lost the glue on it. Oh well. Let's do the pale papaya there. And there you have it. Easy, easy, nice, fun way to use your designer paper and your other things. And then you have this little pull-out card that you can write on. Of course, you got to be careful that you write down on the bottom, but you could also write on the back, which is fun. So you could, and like I said, you can decorate it a little bit more. I'll see. I'm going to play around with it, see if I can do some more little flowers or something around it that coordinate with this flower here. And hope you enjoyed that. And if you have any questions on the paper sale that's coming up, then just shoot me an email or a text.